inches, one broke bone! Yeah. Both occasionally break the rules. Maintainer and defender, scars we don't show. Blood from the war still stuck in our soul. Truth in the glass for the nights we don't sleep. Warriors of whiskey for the brothers we keep. Warriors and whiskey. Steel and smoke, don't test me. Warriors and whiskey. Built from grit, not pretty. Crack the bottle, lock it in, let's go!
What's up, guys? I'm Matt.
And I'm Hayden.
This is Warriors and Whiskey Real Talk.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
Good episode today, bro.
Yeah, I think so. I do think so. I think we've been talking about this one for a little while.
Yeah.
And prepping for it. But we got a couple bottles up here. Talk about these for a little bit.
A couple of mature ones.
Yeah. And that's it's gonna kind of relate to what we're talking about today. Is the pours that we have up here, or two of them on the end, are the double oaks. And the Peerless Double Oak, which is a really good one.
Delicious.
Which I'm going to have today. And then the Woodford Double Oak,
Which
is another good one.
Yep.
And double oak whiskeys, they start out being aged in one barrel. And they age for a period of time, most of the time 6 to 8 years. And then they put them over to another barrel, a second barrel, to age and mature even more. And so the depth of those pours is a lot more.
Yeah.
They've kind of gone from one stage to the second stage, and it's a good depiction of what we're talking about today. The episode today is going to be
the internal
compass. Yep. And mapping the mind.
Yeah, man.
So it's going to be a really good one. And we're going to talk a lot about maturity and growth. And both of those two bottles on the end. And then this one in the middle, I'm going to grab it real quick. It's called 15 Stars. It's a fine aged spirit. It's a 12-year. So it's not a double oak, but it has been, aged for a long time. So it's another really good, mature whiskey.
That's a new one I haven't seen anywhere.
Yeah. I haven't even had that yet. I want to crack it at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to crack it on an episode or something to test it out and see what it's like. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. What I really like about the double oaks is it gets that really oaky wood finish.
Big time.
It
takes on a whole new characteristic, basically.
Yes.
It changes the bourbon in such a way, I feel, right?
Yeah.
Drinking, so like if you just had regular Woodford Reserve and then taste like a comparison taste test next to the double oaked, like me myself, if I was doing it blind, I'd probably be like, these are two completely different things.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep. Yeah, it's finished, right? It's
so
a finished whiskey, and like I said, there's so many layers to it. It's a really good pour. So
yeah.
Since you're not feeling good, you're just going to be sipping on your tea, but yeah. So
do this here.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the iced tea today.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh wait.
Oh, that was funny. I like that. I'm not going to have too much today because I'm trying to kind of be chill too. There you go.
Yeah, just standing out in front of those cookers all day yesterday, man.
Yeah.
That smoke got to me.
Yeah,
I've had a headache all day.
No, I hear that. Yeah, for sure.
We did a volunteer thing yesterday, and we ended up helping cook a lot of tri-tips.
Yeah,
a lot of tri-tips. See,
that's real good.
The event that we put out last week, basically. Yeah, we did it Saturday. What a good turnout! What a good time! Good people.
Oh man, yeah.
Man, it was a blast.
Yeah, it was
so
a good
much
time.
fun.
Yeah, I had a blast. Exhausted by the time we got
Buddy.
home.
Yeah. I looked like the characters at Mortal Kombat when they're like, finish him. At the end of the day, I was so tired. I was asleep on my feet for sure.
Yeah, we were both looking like Walking Dead by the time we left there, but it was such a great time, though. So many
Yeah.
good people, huge turnout. I
Yeah.
would love to know how many people he had out there.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah,
amazing because I didn't
yeah.
even realize like the whole front was filled up, not
Oh
just
yeah.
the tasting room, but the actual porch.
Yep.
People were hanging out everywhere else. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. If you were out at Pine Bluffs yesterday, you probably saw us out there. So,
Yep.
but
Yeah, man.
let's get to the internal compass and mapping the mind. So as we were talking about these whiskeys, all three of them up front, specifically the two on the outside, they're those double oaked, and they're finished. They're stronger. They're that raw strength
Mm-hmm.
behind them. They have a lot of depth and character, which is a lot of what we're going to talk about today. And they're kind of a complete package,
Yeah.
right? Where to be a complete man, you gotta have that finish.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of go through stages where we kind of brush off those rough edges,
Yeah.
and we're smoother, which is a lot like these whiskeys up front here,
Yep.
and it just adds a lot of character
Well,
to
they've
the
been through
individual.
some stuff, right?
Yes. Yep. No. Absolutely.
Same thing for us.
Yep.
I feel like everybody's got their rough edges, and I mean, you just work at smoothing them out
Yep.
as time goes. It's a process. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah. No, for sure.
It takes some time.
Yep. And there's a term that we're gonna use a lot of today.
Yes,
A whole lot.
guaranteed.
Yes.
At least
Yes.
10.
Yes. Yeah. 10 to 12, I would
Say,
say,
yeah.
at minimum. Emotional intelligence, and that's something that us men have a hard time talking about
Hmm.
sometimes. You know.
Just recognizing it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like a lot of people don't recognize
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
they have the need to bring it up, the need to discuss it, the need, if you treat it like a tool, like a knife, right? You
Yep.
want to keep that knife sharp, man. And
Mhm.
people just don't realize like you got to continuously work at it because things are always changing around you, and you're changing as an individual.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. No. It's uh it's something that a lot of men think it's a term of weakness, right?
Yes.
And that's just another way to say that I'm soft,
Yeah.
and that is so far from the
It's
truth.
yes. It's completely off target.
No, absolutely. It's one of those things where you know we hide our feelings so much, and we're so afraid to talk about it that when even that term comes up, emotional intelligence, like a lot of men, and I've done it before many a times,
Hmm.
especially when I was younger, I just shied away from it.
Yeah.
Just was like, oh man, I'm not gonna even dive into that. I don't have any of that.
Yeah.
I don't need
Don't
that.
need it,
I
right?
don't need it.
Because
It's
I'm a
fine.
I'm a I'm a
I'm a
man.
man. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and I can get through this. Which I think is interesting because like we talk about hunting a lot,
Yeah.
and it's we both are big into hunting, and we talk about it quite often. And how many times have you been out in the woods and you have been able to see an animal, whether it's a deer, an elk, a moose, whatever it is, from 300, 400 yards away
Oh yeah.
in the woods, hidden, and you can
Hmm.
see that. We can see it.
Yeah.
We catch it, and kind of the same. Being military guys, both of us has been deployed
Hmm.
and seen some things, and we can see things that are out of place
Yeah.
like that. We can see something that might be an IED on the side of the road from 150, 200 yards away,
Hmm.
and we're always scanning. We talk about that a lot. How we're always scanning. We notice things,
Yeah.
but it's so hard for us to notice things like that in ourselves.
Hmm. That internal look, right?
Yes.
A lot of
Yeah.
people they struggle to have that conversation,
Hmm.
to look themselves in the mirror and say, "Okay, I gotta work on this.
Hmm.
I gotta try to get better at this,"
Yep.
or to just acknowledge that it exists, right? Because,
Yes.
like you said, like when as younger men, I know I did the same thing. 21 through 27, I'd say
Yeah.
I was useless. I
Yeah.
was just running around with my hair on fire. Like you
Yep.
couldn't tell me I was wrong about nothing,
Nope.
right?
I knew everything.
Yeah,
I
I
knew everything.
I was hard as cut diamond. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like,
Yep.
and mean that emotionally too, right? You're
Yep.
not going to shake me. You will never shake me,
No, for sure.
right?
No, absolutely. It's that situational awareness
Hmm.
and versus self awareness.
Yeah.
I think that you and I specifically our situational awareness is pretty strong.
Yeah,
You know,
it's almost like a curse sometimes.
yeah, yeah. And we actually talk about that.
Yeah.
Just us hanging out. We talk about the things that we notice or how like on guard we are out
Mhm.
in public and how big crowds mess with
Oh,
us and
yeah.
all that kind of stuff. You know, but we struggle with that. Self awareness.
Mhm.
Being self aware, understanding. What emotional intelligence is
Yeah.
and being aware of it, working on it, actually working on growing that emotional intelligence.
Well, you like I said, right? It's a tool, man. It's a knife that you want to keep sharp. You got to keep sharpening it, right?
Hmm.
If
Yes.
you've got you equating that to hunting,
Yep.
you got your favorite hunting knife, and you use it every time you go hunting to process an animal or just in general cutting stuff. Eventually, it's going to dull out, and
Yeah.
if you don't put a stone to it and sharpen it
Mhm.
back up, it's going to be useless. You're just carrying a piece of metal in your pocket.
Absolutely.
What's the point?
Yep.
Now that's just extra weight for no purpose at all.
Yep.
So, if you're gonna have it, make it work for you.
Yep.
Make it sharp.
Yep.
Use that tool, right?
And you got to put time into it.
Yes.
It takes time to get that right edge on a knife.
Mhm.
It takes time to work through those rough edges that
Mhm.
you've created by using the knife,
Yeah.
using it over and over and over again. It gets rough edges, it gets nicks and whatnot, and then you got to take that stone, that knife. You got to get the right angle.
Mhm.
You got to use the right stone for the right knife.
Yeah.
And you got to get it down there. It's the same thing with us as people.
Yes.
We are constant working on ourselves.
Mhm.
And if emotional intelligence isn't a tool that you use consistently, really daily, if you don't use it, you'll lose it, right?
Yes.
And it's something that us as men really struggle. We really struggle. We even just talking about it.
Mhm.
I've brought it up to other buddies of mine, and they start squirming.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, they oh no, let's change the subject, or they'll
Yeah.
start talking about something
Get
else,
out of here, you
or
pussy.
yeah, or they'll just walk away,
Yeah.
or what are you doing, man? We're not talking about that crap,
Yeah.
you know.
Football's on. Shut
Yeah,
up.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, but like if I think that just being real, if if we're if we're good enough that we can see a deer 340 yards,
Mhm.
or when we were deployed in combat and we can see an ID and avoid it, then why can't we look internally
Yeah.
and look at ourselves and understand and know, you know, catch ourselves, for instance, when we're starting to feel that anger
Yeah.
blow up, when we're in a situation that maybe we need to adjust how we're reacting and the
Mhm.
words that we're saying, you
Yeah.
know.
I know for me, I really figured out that I was lacking in this side uh for this specifically when I got married,
Mhm.
right? Because like dating, yes, it was kind of there, but dating's always like I don't know. I I feel like dating's you miss a lot, and you're not having as deep conversations as you would with your spouse that you've been married to for 2, 5, 10, 12, 13 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and having that intelligence, that emotional intelligence, I knew for sure. Like after the first couple years, I was like, "Whoo, I better fix this." Right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
better fix this or this I'm not gonna need it anymore because she gone. Like
yeah, yeah,
but obviously pulled my head out my ass. We were able to make it work.
yeah.
Um not saying we had a bad thing, but couples fight and those first
Mhm.
few years of being married, being young, I
It's
think
always a transition
those are
anyway,
hard, right?
because before that, it's just you.
Yeah.
Even when you're dating, right?
Yeah. I
It's
still went home to my apartment.
yes, it's not the same. You still had your own life.
Yeah.
You could do whatever. Not you don't have your own life. I just mean like it's just you.
Yeah.
You get home, like you said, you can eat when you want, you can sleep when
Mhm.
you want, you can eat whatever you want, you can go wherever whenever you want,
Yeah.
and all that. And then when you get married, you have a partner.
Yeah,
You
dude.
have somebody else that you have to consider all the time,
And it's such
all
a
the time, every
it's
decision you make.
yeah, because it literally, right? That person is now part of your life in your home together, right?
Mhm.
It's a together home, not your home.
Yep.
You don't have a roommate anymore. Like,
No, no, it's not a roommate.
yeah.
It's a like we said, it's a partner.
Yes.
Um,
I know for me, like my apartment with my friends, man, it was Animal House. right? Like,
Yep. I can imagine because I had one of those. Well,
dude,
a couple of those, as a matter of fact.
we had a house that we rented. It was a 4 bedroom for the longest time. Same thing, just debauchery. And then ended up getting a smaller apartment because people got deployed and whatnot.
Yeah.
But getting married and then having a wife and realizing, oh, like I have to do things to make this work for both of us. And I can't, especially with the careers that we have, being
Yeah.
active duty military, consistently
Yes.
deploying, TDYs all the time,
Yeah. Gone a lot.
high stress jobs, right?
Mhm.
If you can't take that look on the inside and identify some of these problems, identify that you need to work on something, maybe have a conversation with somebody, could be anybody,
Hmm.
and you just, what did they say, bottle it up, or you box it up and you push it down and never talk about it again.
Yep.
Like, you can only do that for so long.
Yep.
You're gonna spill over the top, or you're gonna friggin' explode.
Yeah. Absolutely. Adapt, overcome,
Mm-hmm.
push it down, push forward.
Yeah.
How many times have you heard that in your career?
Oh,
Hundreds.
thousands.
Yes. Yeah. Hundreds, thousands, right?
Yeah.
Everybody says a little bit differently. That's something that I've always said. It's just,
Mhm.
adapt, overcome, push it down, or, like you said, put in a box
Yeah.
and then just move forward.
Same thing. On to the next target.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
We can't focus on what we did wrong here today, or what we did here today. Let's learn from some of the stuff, but primarily it's all tactics driven. You have a mission going on.
Yep.
Okay, we know what we're supposed to do. On to the next one, and then that thing just disappears off into the memories, into the dust,
Hmm.
and then you're moving and just keep going and going and going.
And we do that so well
Yeah.
as military men in combat. We do
Mhm.
that so well, even, just doing our jobs.
Yeah.
How many times did we deal with situations here, at FE Warren
Mhm.
together, and we had to adapt and overcome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
I mean, it might not have been war the way a lot of people look at war, but I mean, it was
It was something else.
it was something. I don't know what you would call it.
I was
right?
fighting.
Yeah,
I was
100%.
fighting for my life.
Yeah. There's a lot of days. I think we both were, my man. But and like you said, we were so tactical
Hmm.
when it comes to that. And we're so good at being able to notice all the things,
Yeah.
to adapt to every situation. And then we come home. And whether it's home from a deployment or just home from a day at work.
Hmm.
And it's so hard for us to walk through the door and notice your wife had a bad day,
Yeah.
or, your kid's struggling with the homework
Hmm.
because you're so much in your head. But yet all day you've been tactically able to, you've been situationally aware
Yeah.
all day long. But you can't be self-aware enough to notice those things,
Hmm.
to use that emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting that it almost comes second nature to us tactically to be situationally aware.
Yeah, I think the same way, right? And in a way, I feel like it's easier for me, at
Mhm.
least, right? Just because with my job, like if I'm getting called to something, it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Usually,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
95% of the time, it's not going to be a good. I'm not getting called over to the commander's house to get flowers delivered.
No.
You know what I mean?
No
Like,
one calls the cops on their best day.
yes.
No. No.
But having that, like you have that stuck in your mind, like no matter what, like I'm going to work, it's probably going to be some bad stuff that happens. Some days are better than others.
Yeah.
You only have a few small things.
Yep.
But our squadron here for the longest time, man, it was a meat grinder inside of a dumpster fire on a ship that was sinking. Like,
That's a great picture.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the
No.
guard. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It was.
But
You're not wrong.
in a way though, it's just automatic reset mode for me, because as soon as my 12 to 14, 15, 18-hour shift, depending on the day,
Yeah.
once that shift was done, I go home, I go to bed. That's my reset. The next day was so much easier for me to be like, all right, yesterday's done. Let's see what's going to happen today.
Yeah.
It's not the same when you have to look inside and realize that your cup is spilling over. You've buried too much,
Yep.
right? How much of this spillover, this spillage, is bleeding over into my family life? Are my
Absolutely.
kids noticing this now?
Yep.
Is my wife noticing it?
Yep.
What am I doing to communicate? What am I doing to be the active husband and father that they deserve for the moments that, because they're going through the same moments you are, just maybe not to the
Absolutely.
same capacity, but
Mhm.
they are.
Well, they're seeing it all.
They're seeing it.
They're
right?
watching you. They're seeing you go to work before the sun comes up.
Yeah.
And not coming home till after the sun's down until it's bedtime.
Yeah.
Right? they're seeing all that. They see the stress, they see the exhaustion,
Yes.
they see all that, and they feed off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they feed off of it. So,
Well, like you said, right? I walk into the house and I don't notice my wife had a bad day, and I just start going into it because I had a bad day.
yep.
Now you're just two people beating your heads against each other,
Hmm.
and you're not going to get anything accomplished, right?
Yep.
And it's the same for any relationship. It could be a work relationship. If you showed up every day to your office in some pissed off, shitty mood,
Yeah.
and then you got somebody, some foot traffic comes in, or your commander comes in and says, "Hey, we got something to do with this," and you're already overflowing.
Hmm.
Now you're drained.
Yeah, that's not good.
What's that going to turn into? You know
A
what I
real
mean?
bad day for
A
me.
real bad day for a
Real
lot of
bad-
people.
Well,
Probably.
that's true. Yeah. Well, and then it's going to affect others and
Yeah.
how I handle situations, how I react to
Mhm.
others, and everything. And so, no, absolutely. And you were talking about that cup, and it's interesting because I say something similar, and I talk about this a lot with just different people I come in contact with at work, and even just friends and family. But we all have a bucket, and that bucket can only hold but so much water.
Yes.
And you can only carry that bucket when it's full so far until you have to find somewhere to take some of that water out, to
Mhm.
dump some of that water out. And, if we let ourselves get to the point where that bucket's overflowing and we have to drop it, now we're at the point of failure.
Yeah.
And tactically, in a mission setting,
That's
that
no good.
that means you lost the battle,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's and you can equate that to just life.
Yeah.
If you let your bucket overflow and you can't handle it anymore, you can't carry it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You either you got to find somewhere to take some of that water out, or find a brother or a sister,
Yes.
a wingman to help you carry it. Because if you just drop it and it all goes out,
Mm-hmm.
that's almost like an explosion.
Yeah.
And now you just lost whatever's going on, whatever you're trying to deal with, whatever you're working through, whether you're a civilian in the corporate world, whether it's family,
Yeah.
or even just yourself. You're in a real bad state of affairs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard for us as men to wrap our minds around that concept.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it's been trained into us, right?
yeah,
From a young age.
that's
What
true.
kind of movies did you watch growing up? Men were men.
Oh yes, absolutely.
We
Yeah.
fight, we die.
Movies in the 80s and 90s,
You
it
know?
was like Rambo,
Yeah, exactly.
Terminator.
Every Western ever.
Yes, exactly. Yes, Clint Eastwood,
Yeah.
right? You don't never see Clint Eastwood, or hear him talking about his feelings,
No.
or
When he wasn't spitting tobacco on people's boots, he was shooting sons of bitches. You
Yes,
know?
exactly. And you're right, and it's just beat into our
Mhm.
brains, that you don't have time to feel. You're
Mhm.
not allowed to feel. Don't worry about emotional intelligence. It doesn't matter. Your job is to be the man.
Yeah.
And over time, that really it affects us as individuals
Yes.
really, really deeply, and then it comes out, and then it really affects
Mm-hmm.
everyone around us, our coworkers,
Yep.
our bosses. It could affect. It could cause us to lose a job.
Mm-hmm.
Get fired, whether that's civilian side or military or whatever. Divorce.
Mm-hmm. Which
Ki-
is you see a lot in the military because of that.
yeah.
They teach us how to do all these things, these cool things.
Yes.
Situational awareness, how to be tactical, how to do this, how to do that, how to prepare yourself mentally, the what if game.
Yes.
Have this thought, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
But then you carry that luggage home or that bucket of water like you're talking, you drop that bitch in the kitchen, and your whole world falls apart.
Yep.
And next thing you know, you got troops coming to you like, yep, getting divorced. You're
Yeah.
like, didn't you just get married like 6 months ago? Like, yep.
Yeah. And then, for me, I realized, especially as a leader, man, I failed him. I failed that airman
But it can't be all on you.
because, okay, that's not. I don't mean it that way.
Okay.
What I mean.
Elaborate
is,
for us.
Okay. What I mean is, young airmen, they're kind of like our kids, right? In fact,
Yeah.
a lot of them, they're my son's age.
Yeah.
So they're seeing us operate as leaders, and they're just mimicking it because they don't have a clue at 18, 19 years old of what the hell to do.
No.
They don't have a clue, so they're just mimicking it. So that's what I mean by,
18, 19 years old, I was pissing in the wind.
yes, yeah. And I feel like a lot of times I feel like I failed you
Mm-hmm.
because I did not show you a better way to do this and to
Yeah.
handle this. I fell in that trap of adapt, overcome, push it down, press forward, carry your ass to work.
Same,
You
right?
know, and so no, I'm not saying that I think that could save everybody or that I should be, everybody's dad or whatever. But just they're watching.
Yes.
And so as leaders and as the more mature folks, right, we're older, we both have kids
Mm-hmm.
and we've been through a lot of this. And so I think that's a piece of it too, is just how we are, um, not just as men, but as leaders. Leaders are a household in the house, leaders at work, out in society,
Yeah.
you know, you know, um, just having those discussions and being able to read the room.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, when you walk in when you walk in the house, and you're able to look around and feel what's going on. Did 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 your wife and kids have a good day? Did they not? You know, you walk in your daughter's room and you can just tell
Yeah.
she's just not right. You know, do you notice that, or are you still at work?
Mm-hmm.
Are you still
Do
thinking,
you have the blinders up?
yep, yeah. Can you read that room? Can you feel okay? I need to stop what I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
and sit down and talk to her, or for me, same thing with me with Connor. So many times I would come home from work and it was just chaos all day,
Yeah.
and I've been doing it, just knocking things out, handling it, dealing with it, and then I come home and I fail. Because he's like, Dad, I need to talk to you about this. I need to talk to you about that. And I'm like, no, give me 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And all he wants is he just wants to talk to his dad.
Get
You
Dexter.
know,
Go away.
he just wants to talk to his dad.
What?
So it's very important that we can notice and see and read the room, but also notice internally
Yeah.
where we're at too.
It's important, right? Like, because of everything that you just said, man, was spot on, right? Fucking bullseye.
Hmm.
Um, as you were saying it, it got me kind of thinking. Now, I don't know. What do you think about this? Is the reason why we teach so much of one? Is that why it's so hard to talk about the other? We teach this manly mentality. We teach this how to do this, and this. We teach what you're supposed to do, but we don't teach that emotional intelligence. We don't teach people how to have that internal look anymore, at least into a depth of
Hmm.
how we. There's no balance there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. I do.
I
So
know the Air Force has tried in the past, but
it fails.
they went too hard in the paint right off the
Yeah.
jump because they were all huggy feely. Come here,
Yeah.
let me hold you. It's okay to cry. That type of stuff. It's like, all right. It got to the point though where these people now they stub their friggin' teeth and they got to take a knee for 2 weeks because they can't
Yeah.
carry a gun, or I feel like too much emotion, not enough intelligence.
Yep.
I'm as you were talking about that, I was thinking about that. Like, imagine if we just taught it all the same, like if it was in the same curriculum.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to teach you this stuff, but at the same moment, we're going to teach this too. But we're going to do it right. And we're going to get professionals in, because you and I are not professionals,
No.
right?
No.
I don't have a certificate for this.
No.
Um,
Absolutely not. No, we are definitely not mental
Yeah,
health professionals
at
or
all.
counselors or anything like that. We're just a couple of dudes that have been through some things that, we're trying to reach a couple folks,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah,
That's,
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I like
I'm
that.
just trying to make it through myself, right?
Yeah. No,
But
for sure.
being in certain situations and having the ability to have the conversation like this, I think is great.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you, bringing this one
Yeah.
up and us having this talk, because a lot of people out there are definitely battling some stuff.
Yeah.
And then, like you say, reading the room, man. I don't know how many times, like for troop wise or just individuals, right? I've gotten up and I've said something and just feel the entire, like, it's like a physical shift in the crowd. You could
Yeah.
feel it in the
Mhm.
air,
You can feel it.
and you're like,
Yeah.
damn,
Yeah.
I just said something wrong. And then you think about it real quick, do the little playbook, and you're like, shit, I did say something wrong.
I got a great example of that. As a matter of fact, I actually did that. Man, I don't know what it was. Maybe about a month and a half ago,
Mm-hmm.
with my unit. we were I was teaching some stuff, lessons on some things,
Yep.
and it was we were talking about resilience,
Yeah.
right? Which I think a lot of this kind of resilience has a lot to do with emotional intelligence.
Yeah. It ties into it
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
absolutely. It kind of all ties together in a nice little package.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd say a ball of yarn. But
there you go. That's good. That's good. But anyway, and I went kind of hard in the paint on some things, because my view of how to teach and grow emotional intelligence is a little different than what maybe the Air Force
Mhm.
says, or maybe a lot of people. I think some people would probably disagree with me. But anyway, I went a little hard in the paint on some things, and I didn't read the room.
Yeah.
And I'd forgotten that a lot of my folks had dealt with some things, some pretty serious things recently.
Recently, yeah.
And I brought those things up. And I was pretty, um, I'll say aggressive.
Okay.
Okay. I was pretty aggressive about it.
Gosh.
Yep. And, but I mean, I'd gotten a lot of folks that came to me like, man, sure, this was great.
Yeah.
We really enjoyed this. This was not what we expected, thank you. Well, the next day, uh, couple of folks from on the leadership team came to me.
Uh-huh.
Hey, shirt, we need to talk.
Shit.
I'm like, well, I had no idea what it was about. It could have been about one of
I
a
know.
million different things, right? And they brought it up to me that there were some folks that came to them, came to different people, not necessarily to them, but directly, but just different people. It's like, hey, it really upset them. It really messed with their brain. It really got them thinking about things they didn't want to think about.
Yeah.
Maybe it ripped off some scabs that they didn't want ripped off at the time.
Yep.
And I was like, oh man, the last thing I wanted to do was to hurt anybody.
Oh, yeah.
That was not my intention, right? So I was
You
like,
thought
okay,
you were doing something. What you thought you were doing was going to be like strengthening,
yes,
right? Hey,
yes,
let's pick ourselves up,
yep,
right? Let's do it this way.
yes, yeah, absolutely. And I thought it was going to be a positive thing.
Yeah.
Best of intentions, right?
Hmm.
My intentions were there, my heart was there, but I found it off.
Yeah.
I was off target. Didn't take into account the windage.
Yeah.
You know,
And
and
there's no reaching out and pulling that bullet back.
no,
She gone.
no, she gone. Like I let it loose,
Yep.
and it was out there.
Yep.
So anyway, and it was one specific shop section, right?
Hmm.
One specific shop that really had some issues, and they had been involved with some pretty serious, heavy things, a couple months prior.
Yeah.
Things that we had been involved with too.
Still fresh in
Yes,
the.
yeah, still fresh. So I was like, well, I owe them an apology.
Hmm.
So I immediately called the shop lead. It took me a little bit to get a hold of him, but anyway, called the shop. We said, hey, I want to come over. I need 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think she had any idea why. Maybe she did. I don't know. But I said, I just need 10 minutes with your entire shop. She said, okay. She gave me a time that they'd be in the shop because my guys are always out on the base working,
Yep.
doing things, right? And I went over and I apologized. And I was like, hey guys, look, the last thing I wanted to do was to hurt you.
Yeah.
It is not my right to rip that band-aid off, to rip that scab off. That is for you to deal with
Hmm.
on your time and your way. And obviously I screwed the pooch on this one. And I apologize.
Yeah.
And the last thing I need, or the last thing I want, is for you guys to feel like that you can't come to me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. 100%, man.
because I was very fearful that, oh man, I just burned some
Yeah.
relationships.
You just built some walls up, man.
Because I got to the unit in December, so
Uh-huh.
I haven't been there for very long. I'm still learning folks. I'm still earning their respect.
Yep.
They're still getting comfortable with me and how I operate because I operate differently than a lot of folks do.
Hmm.
Um, and it really it was really an eye opening experience for me because even though my heart was in the right place, my intentions were pure. It did not hit the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
It was one group that I'm aware of. I don't know if anybody else took it that way or not. I just don't know. It's possible.
Hmm.
But this particular group, they took it the wrong way, and so, or not the wrong way, it hurt them.
It just brought some memories up.
Yes, yep,
Yeah.
yep. And so, I had to go back and I had to
Yep.
apologize. And, like you said, I couldn't take it back. It was already out there.
Hmm.
I'd already made the decision. I'd already done the things. I already said what I said. But but the lead of the shop afterwards, sure, we really appreciate this. Like, I did not mean this to get back to you. It just kind of it messed with us a little bit.
Hmm.
And I said, no, 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 no. I'm not upset at all. I'm upset with myself because I did not want to hurt you all.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said, look, any one of you can come to me at any given time on any day, 24/7 about anything. I give you my word. But it really, that instance grew me. It really matured me because then I was like, well, the next time that I get up in front, because I talked to the whole squadron.
Hmm.
It was in different groups. It wasn't all at once, but there was 4 or 5 different sessions. But the entire squadron, so I don't know, close to 300 active duty members
Yeah.
that day. So I started thinking, like, man, I wonder how many others that just didn't say anything, that didn't
Hmm.
come up on comms, that didn't feel comfortable.
Just buried it down.
Yeah, bury it down,
Hmm.
adapt, overcome. Oh well, shirt said some things. It's fine.
Yeah. What a prick.
Yeah, and maybe there's one or two out there that will never come to me now.
Yeah.
I have no idea. There's no way for me to know that.
I don't think so, man. I think a lot of these kids these days are smart enough. They might just be, 'cause rightfully so, if it's still fresh in their mind, they're going to have certain feelings about it. But what you did right there, you set up some time and you went and made the apology. Because a lot of people won't do that. Right there, that displays your emotional intelligence and beat the ability to say, "Oh, hey, I effed up.
Yep.
Now I'm here in front of you, face to face. Not an email,
No.
not a text message, not some stupid, flyer."
Yep. Just.
Or somebody else saying it for me. My boots are in front of you right now, and I'm in them.
Yep. No. That's yeah.
That's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I
Well,
wouldn't
and
beat yourself up too much about it, but
no, I don't, because I mean, I've since then, because like I said, this was a month and a half ago, I think,
Yeah.
something like that. I've worked with this group many a time since
Mhm.
then, and it's just been a blast. And
Hell yeah.
no issues. In fact, a couple of them have come to me since then about some different
That's good.
things. So I don't think that there was any serious wounds there that I caused. But it was just one of those things where, I thought I was actually being emotionally intelligent, and I screwed the pooch, But it really it allowed me to kind of see how important it is
Mhm.
to think really deep about who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not even giving off a certain vibe because they don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Kind of like when you walk into the house, from being on a long day at work. Your wife might know, Jean might know that you had a rough day because you probably maybe threw her a text or
Yeah.
whatever. Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't, right? It just kind of varies. But kids very likely don't. And then, so they don't know what they're going to get. And same thing with Connor. I wouldn't necessarily tell him that I was having a long day or rough day or whatever.
Yeah.
And I would walk in the door and, he'd be home from school, or he had gotten home from work or getting ready to go to work. Like, hey, I need to talk to you about this. We need to talk about this. We need to do this.
Mhm.
I need this and that, whatever. And there was many times that I would just kind of blow up.
Yeah.
And just like for no good reason,
Yep.
either raise my voice or just tell him, hey, look, I need 30 minutes. I don't have time for this right now. And then what does that say to him?
Yeah.
What does that say when dad doesn't have time for me? You've been gone all day.
Yeah, but you're still in work mode,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. I'm still, and at work I've been killing it, right?
Mhm.
And I can do that all day. But then I come home and I can't handle 15 minutes with my own son.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's a tough one, man. I've been there
Yeah.
too myself, like I've come in, the kids are getting ready for school when I was on mid shift.
Oh. So basically you take a couple of naps every day, and that's about all you
Pretty
get.
much.
So you're living off of 3 or 4 hours of sleep for weeks on end,
Weeks on end.
Yeah.
Right.
months.
Usually I would get most of my sleep were on my days off, right?
Yeah.
But I slept during the day. That's when my
Mhm.
kids and my family would be up. So I missed out on a lot of time.
Yep.
But I come home and they would always be excited to see me. And there was just some days where I walk in and they come up to give me hugs, and I give them hugs, but I'm like, Daddy's got to go take a shower, this, that, and the other thing. And then by the time I'm done with my little routine, they're off to school.
Mhm.
Jean's off to work, and it's like, well, shit. I could have waited another 10, 15 minutes. I could have heard about that, asked him, "What's your day? What are you doing in school today? Are you excited about anything?" Try to
Yep.
do that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Or back when operations was our thing, right? I get
Mhm.
home, kids get home from school, Colin come over and be like, "Come on, Daddy, I want to play Minecraft." I'd be like, "Bud, I don't have time for Minecraft right now."
Yeah. I
And
know I'm home from work, but I gotta do more work.
yeah, my phone is literally ringing,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it sucks, man. And then
Yep.
like I'm frustrated that I'm feeling that way. I'm frustrated the phone's going off. I'm frustrated with all this different stuff. And then my family does not deserve that side. And
Absolutely
that
not.
was something I definitely worked on a bit towards the end. It got better. It did
Yeah.
get better. It's been real nice now. I'm on the other side.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you
Man,
are. Yeah.
that literally I have zero excuses. If my kids come up to me now, I'm literally able to be like, "What do you want to do?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's go."
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I think that's really good that you're able to take that time right now.
I'm loving it,
You
man.
know, I don't know if you can get the time back per se,
No.
but you're able to pour in.
Hmm.
You know, kind of like that saying work life balance. I don't necessarily believe. I don't think it's possible to keep a work life balance all the time.
No.
I think we'll drive ourselves absolutely batshit crazy if we try to do that.
Yeah.
Because there's sometimes that work needs 80% of us.
Yes.
It just does. It's facts. Whether you're military, whether you're a civilian, and so your family's going to get 20%.
Hmm.
But as soon as you can dial back from work,
Yeah.
you need to go back to that closer to 50-50, right?
Hmm.
And there's going to be sometimes you're going to have to tell work, I, I'm going to show up when I'm supposed to, but I'm going home as soon as I can
Hmm.
because my family needs 80% of me right now.
Dude, towards the
You know?
end, like when so in ops, having Kane,
Yeah.
because his family was there, he
Yeah.
was here.
Yeah. Yeah. He was geobatching it. So
Yep.
he, yeah.
Which military makes people do. It happens all the time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And that was tough on him. I know it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
But like I was showing up early, staying late a lot. And I remember him saying, like, "Look, man, if you need time to go spend time with your kids, you want to pick them up from school, you want to do this, that." And he's like, "If we really need you, we'll call you."
Yeah.
And I'm
No,
like,
for sure.
but I felt selfish. I'm like, "We got a lot of stuff going on here, boss." And he's like, "We can figure it out, man. And that's why you have that phone.
Hmm.
So go hang out with your family." Right. And
Yep.
and I started doing that a little bit more and a little bit more
Yep.
to the point where now I'm able to literally just say, like, "No, I'm
Yeah.
taking the kids. Like, we're leaving early next Friday.
Yeah.
We're going on a trip. I'm taking my
I'm
family.
so glad you're doing that too.
Man,
I'm so glad you're doing that.
we're going somewhere completely new. We're going to see two different towns that we haven't seen in Wyoming. One of them is a natural hot spring,
Nice.
and that little reset, and we get to take off away from here."
Yep.
The wife is excited, because she's starting to
That's
get a little
good.
burned out from her work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I have that ability now, and it's definitely nice, and it helps me. It helps me on keeping this
Yes.
good to go,
Yep.
right? Because I can reflect a little bit more.
Absolutely. Well, and I think reflection helps us with, you know, clearing up those blind spots that we have.
Hmm.
You know, that emotional intelligence, that's one of the things that it does. We all have blind spots. You've had a long day, you're stressed, you're tired, you come home, family needs something.
Hmm.
Or you got a lot of family things going on, right? Just things are stressful, whatever. Life happens.
Yes.
Right? You feel like you're taking body blows all day, every day. You go to work, it's the same damn thing. It's the same BS. And, you're almost working with, blinders on,
Yeah.
on autopilot. And that creates a lot of blind spots. And we're not seeing how we're reacting
Well, now
to all the
you start
things.
to fall into a pattern or a rut.
Hmm.
And like you said, every day is exactly the same. Next thing you're doing the same thing
Yeah.
over and over. And man, it's just not a way to live.
No.
It's kind of like what I said to you in the truck yesterday, right? If somebody was reading a book about you right now, would they
Yes.
would they finish the book, or would they end it at this chapter because it's just the same
Because
thing
it's crap.
it's just the same shit
Yes.
over and
Yes.
over again.
And that was when you said that, like I thought about that until I went to bed last night.
Yeah? Look
Yes.
at me.
Because
I got you
was like,
thinking.
yeah, man. I think that's what we do with each other, honestly. But man, I was sort of thinking about like, what have I, what have I done that's book worthy?
Same.
You know, and what am I continuing to do?
Yeah.
Because
This chapter sucks. What's the next one?
last week I made the final decision.
Mm-hmm.
I'm retiring.
Hell yeah, buddy.
I know. High five, brother.
Loving it.
I'm
Popping smoke. Yeah, bud.
Yep. I am pulling chalks, pulling the ripcord, whatever you want to say.
Ejectocito, cuz.
That's a great movie. I
Yeah,
love that.
love
Yes.
that.
Yep. I made that decision. So I have a date.
Nice.
I know when I'm going to hit the button. I know when I'm going to be officially retired. So, and I'm starting to think about what am I going to be about and who am I going to be about.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of, like you said, is somebody going to want to read the next chapter of
Yeah.
my book? I think my military career, if I wrote about that, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But now this is what really, in my opinion, this is what really counts.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Well, military career is the first half.
yes,
Right?
yep, the first half.
When does the story get real good? Towards the end.
yeah, I hope so.
Right?
And that's it's a really, I think it's deep to think about.
Yeah.
What's that next chapter we're working on,
Mm-hmm.
and what's it gonna say?
Yeah.
Is it just gonna be you going through the motions?
Yeah. Wake up, go to work, come home, eat dinner, lay in bed, scroll on Instagram for 40 minutes, and then go to sleep.
Mhm.
Boy, that was a good chapter.
Yep.
I hope there's 10 more after it, just like that. You know what I mean? I ain't reading that book.
No. I'm gonna get through page 2 maybe
Yep.
of that chapter, and
Done.
then I'm gonna throw it away. I'm gonna toss that book
Yeah.
in the trash or burn it or whatever. I'm not
I'm
gonna.
going to look for a socioeconomics book after that because it'll be more riveting.
Economics is not riveting
Mhm.
in any way, shape, or form. No, absolutely. And actually, and you saw it. I posted a little short video of when I was rucking. It was actually yesterday morning.
Yeah.
And I was telling you, I'd woken up earlier than what I needed to, and I started doing what you just said,
Mm.
just laying in bed. I tried to go back to sleep.
Doom scrolling.
Yep. And I couldn't go back to sleep, so I was just laying in bed and I was just scrolling. And then I was like, no, I'm not going to waste my time.
Mm-hmm.
Time is precious. I'm not going to waste my time. So I put my phone down. I got up, got dressed. I'm going to go for a ruck this morning. I'm going to do something worthwhile, something that's good for me, something that clears my head.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I filmed a short video and posted on Facebook. Was just because like I was thinking about things, but then I was just trying to push it away and just scroll through Facebook.
Yeah.
Caught myself getting on Amazon, or probably going to order something that I just don't need. Some stupid crap.
It slices. It dices.
Yeah, wasting time.
Yeah.
And so I did something productive, and I think that really kind of goes into knowing our blind spots.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing when, okay, I'm driving down that road of either I'm just wasting my time, I'm scrolling, or I'm sitting and just binge watching, of a movie series or a
Mm-hmm.
TV series or whatever it is, when I could be, doing something active to help myself physically, and that within that also helps with emotionally and
Mm-hmm.
mentally, because all those things are connected. Or I can go spend time with my family.
Yep.
Take
Get outdoors.
take your wife on a date.
Yep.
I call up Connor, we meet up and we go spend time together, or whatever it is.
Taking a trip.
Taking a trip like what you're about to go on. Call a buddy, just come over, hang out, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right? Hunting, fishing, hiking, camping, whatever it is, instead of just wasting yourself
Mhm.
away. And I think that really that helps us as human beings emotionally.
Oh yeah, man. It's all tied together,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
If one of them's off balance, right?
Mhm.
Your physical health, your spiritual health, your mental health, all that.
Yep.
It's all tied together.
Mhm.
One's off kilter
Yep.
or all cattywampus up, then the rest of you is going to be too, because you're leaning to one side.
Mhm.
So
Absolutely. No. I was thinking about so many things we suppress, so much of our feelings that we suppress,
mhm.
that, we throw them in that box. We keep pouring into that bucket,
Yeah.
to our own bucket. And we were talking about hunting, and we both are gun guys and we shoot. And think about if you're out hunting and you bring that rifle up and you don't see it on your shoulder right, and you pull that trigger, that's gonna hurt.
Oh, you're gonna feel it.
One, you're probably not getting the target,
Yep.
right? And two, especially if it's a higher caliber rifle, it's gonna leave a mark.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel that for the next couple of days, especially our age.
Hmm.
And I think we can equate that to like just mental and emotional health. If we continue to suppress and we don't get our minds right, get our emotions right, and we don't deal with the things that we've been dealing with, and we just keep putting it in that box,
Yeah.
and we don't have the emotional intelligence to know, okay, this is getting heavy.
Hmm.
Right. This is the weight of life, the weight of all the things of the loss. We've both lost a lot of people in our lives,
Hmm.
just family, friends, military, brothers and sisters, you name it. Right. You don't deal with that. It's going to create blind spots,
Yeah.
and we're not going to be able to read the room. We're not going to be able to put the energy and effort into our families, into our relationships, because we're so focused on just figuring out how am I going to deal with all this stuff.
Well, it almost turns into like you don't want to. So when you
Yeah.
don't want to deal with that, you don't want to deal with anything else. And then next thing you know, that's your entire focus. You don't care about reading the room because it doesn't matter to you anymore.
Yeah.
You become so numb and calloused off to all of it because you're just packing it away instead of recognizing it. And then next thing you know, man, yeah, you could be in shambles.
Yeah. It affects marriages,
Hmm.
causes divorce,
Hmm.
affects relationships with your kids.
Yep.
I mean, and it can be permanent. It can be something that maybe your kids never get past.
Yeah.
You know, maybe when they grow up and they leave the house, they don't come to you
Yeah.
because you weren't able to put that effort and time into them and give them your heart and mind,
Hmm.
like they deserve. And it's um, very it's very important. I was trying to think of another word, but I can't think right
No, you're good.
now. I think it's very important that we constantly keep that in mind.
Well, yeah, you got to kind of
You
be
know?
like in tune with the universe around you, right?
Yes,
And
yes, that's good.
your fam like I'm not saying like Saturn and Venus and shit.
I know what you mean.
Your little universe, right?
Yep,
Your
yep.
house,
Hmm.
your home life, your life, right? You should actively work on keeping it going the right way.
Yep, yeah. It's we talk about hunting and shooting and stuff, but if you don't shoulder that stress,
Hmm.
right, you know the recoil is going to cause damage,
Hmm.
just like you know it's going to cause damage to relationships.
Yeah.
You know, the recoil of the gun is gonna hurt your shoulder. Might even separate your shoulder. It might cause permanent damage.
Yeah.
Just like in life.
Might get a nice little scope kiss.
Yes, that too, and that hurts like a son.
For those of you that don't know what that is, you are not shouldered with the rifle up the appropriate way. Your face is too close to the optic. You pull the
Yep.
trigger and it cuts your eyebrow apart.
Yep. Yeah.
Happened to me.
Yes, it can cause some serious damage,
Yeah.
and some of it can be permanent, just like with our relationships,
Hmm.
just like with life. If you're not shouldering the weight of the world right, and you're not handling it, you're not really dealing with it. You don't have the we'll say the word again.
One more time.
The emotional intelligence to look within and to see what it's doing to you and the effects that's causing on those around you.
Hmm.
There's going to be some permanent things that happen.
Yeah.
That are not good. Divorce. Losing friendships. Um, you know, even a lot of mental health issues
Hmm.
that I think a lot of folks just across the world deal with all
Yeah.
the time. And it's because they're not shouldering all the stress and the weight of the world in a good way, in a positive way.
Yeah.
They're choosing to lay in bed and scroll versus get up
Hmm.
and do something about it. Right? You know, it's It's something I think that, especially as men, we need to talk about more.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I think control is something else.
Control.
Yeah, control. Being able to control our emotions, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to be a basket case.
No. You know,
Yeah.
there's a time and place, I think, for everything.
Hmm.
You know, um, it's okay to be angry, but it's not okay to take your anger out on those around you. It's just an ice maker.
Oh, I was like, what is that noise?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, right? You got to throw a regulator on it. I think,
Oh, that's good.
right? Like
That's good. Yes.
on all of it too,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
I feel like, oh, I can't stand these type of people, man, who are too happy to the
Yeah.
point where it seems fake. It's like, I don't believe you.
No one
Ye-
is always happy 24/7.
Not like that.
No.
Like,
No.
or you got the people that are just all angry all the time, hulking out.
Yep.
Right? It's like, look, dude,
Yep.
you might want to get that under control, like you just said, right? Throw a regulator on that thing, and there's a time and a place.
Yes.
You can't be blowing up in the office. You can't be blowing up at home.
Yeah.
Blow up in the garage by yourself. Go out there, chuck a wrench, be a man, and then get back to work.
Yeah. Throw some punches at that punching bag.
Yeah. Go for a run.
Go to the gym. Go
Yeah.
for a run. Go for a hike. Go for a ruck. Talk to a professional. I think that everybody deals with things in different ways.
Hmm.
I think we're so quick to say, "Oh, you need to go see a counselor or a therapist."
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
tried it. Not for me.
I mean, and I was gonna say, it's not for everybody for every situation.
Yeah.
I think that there are a lot of situations and a lot of people and a lot of things that require a professional,
Hmm.
that require somebody who is trained, who has the education, who knows how to deal with certain things.
Yeah.
I see a therapist once a week.
Yeah.
And she's focused on trauma therapy and stuff because I'm walking through a whole mess of things.
Yeah.
A couple specific things that have happened recently to me. Everything else in the past, 44 years of life, I guess, but mainly just, past 24, 25 years, have really piled up and I guess I haven't dealt with.
Hmm.
And so she's giving me tools I don't think, like talking to a friend, talking to family would be able to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
However, I do think that everyone needs a wingman.
For sure.
Everyone needs family member, mom, dad, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, cousin, grandparent. I don't care who it is, a friend,
Hmm.
a brother
Yep.
that's been through similar things to talk to.
It's important, right?
Yes.
You want to have that individual that can relate to the conversation in a way, but
Mhm.
also might not necessarily have been there, so they can have a little bit of a different view on it as well.
Mhm.
That's why
Absolutely.
I have multiple wingmen.
Yep.
Right?
I'm blessed with
I've
that.
called you for that
I
type of
was gonna
stuff.
say we both called each other
Yep.
many a times. Many a
And then I've got people on the other side of the spectrum that aren't in the military that are,
Mhm.
full on civilian status. I call them up, be like, hey, I want to run this past you. What do you think?
Mhm.
Just so I can kind of get those different, because everybody has their own strengths.
Yep.
And their own, like, you've been through a lot of military stuff. This person's been through a lot of relationship stuff. This person's been through a lot of family, kid stuff.
Mhm.
So I think it's important to reach out to those individuals, especially the ones like lean on their strengths, because they're going to lean on yours.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And you can do that for them and be that person for them as well. I don't know how many times I've called a friend and bounced something off of them, and then they're like, "Man, your ears must have been ringing because I was thinking about calling you too. Because check this out."
Yeah.
And then it becomes a two-way, full-on conversation. And we're helping each other out.
Mhm.
But I know for me, I've tried therapy. It didn't work for me. I just can't stand talking to people in that capacity, I guess. And it's not that I respect what they do. Yes, they're very important and it works for some people. It doesn't work for everybody. I like to kick the shit out of myself. Like that's
Yeah.
my therapy. I go to the gym, I'll go for a run, I'll
Yeah.
jump on the treadmill.
I do a lot of that.
I've got a sandbag in my garage. I'll go put that thing on, just start busting out squats and just
Mhm.
in my head, I'm processing the things my way.
Yep.
And it works. That's what works for me. So I probably should do more of it because last 2 months I've definitely getting a little doughy, but um, I think I need to kick the shit out of myself a little bit more.
No, I get that. So this is the first time I'm 44. Next month is 23 years in the Air Force.
Hmm.
And November of last year is when I started seeing a therapist consistently. First time.
Yeah.
first time. And I'm very blessed when it comes to having those relationships. I've got a lot of friends. You
Hmm.
know, some are here. A lot are all over. Just like you, all over the country, even the world, maybe.
Yep.
I've got amazing family. Uh, and it's funny for me, and unlike most, I think my mom is a social worker.
Yeah.
I mean, she's retired now, and she was actually a grief counselor for,
Really
I don't know, a long time.
nice.
She did social work for, I think, over 30 couple years until when she retired, and so I get kind of both when I talk to my mom.
Yeah.
And in fact, a lot of times I'll be like, "Mom, I don't need a counselor. I
Need
need
mom.
mom,
Yeah.
please." And she's very good at turning that switch,
Yeah.
right? If I don't say it though, she's gonna start counseling me.
Revert into
And
what
yeah,
she
oh,
knows. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, she's really good at being mom. She has this mom radar.
Yeah.
She seems to know when I'm going through it because I'll get a text message from her randomly in the middle of the day. I'm like, how the hell did she know that I'm having a rough day? And she just something simple like, "Hey, I was thinking about you. I love you, son." And
Yep.
I'm like, that mom radar went
Yeah.
off, right? Um, but I think we all use different tools. We all use different avenues
Hmm.
to grow ourselves, grow each other.
Hmm.
Like you said, having conversations with friend, family, whatever. A lot of times, you'll call me, you're struggling or whatever, and then we'll start talking, and then I'll start unloading on you, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh shit. Well, he called me for me, and now I'm over here, unloading on this guy,
Hey, that's
or
how it
or
works, though.
vice versa,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'll call you, we'll talk for a while. I don't know how many times, especially over the past probably year, the two of us have called each other, and or I mean, one time not too long ago, you just called me like, "Are you at the house?" Like, "Yeah, I'll be there in a minute." And I'm like, "Okay."
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
sounds good to me, right? Say less, brother.
Gotta talk.
Yes, exactly. Um, but I think we all have our different methods, and
Hmm.
and as long as you find your method, you find your way to be able to grow that emotional intelligence,
Yes.
to be able to unload all that
Hmm.
the burdens of life, the weight that we all carry every day, all day.
Yep.
You find a way to drop it and put it down to where it's not just sitting there. Somebody else is helping you carry it, or you get it to the finish line and you can just walk away from it, whatever it may be. I think that's super important that we all find that,
Yes.
you know, and that's the importance of emotional intelligence, because without it, you're not going to find that.
No.
You're not going
You have to
to.
be able to identify it
Yep.
yourself.
Yep. Yeah, you're not going to be able to identify it. You're not going to be able
Hmm.
to catch it. You're not going to see your blind spots. You're not going to notice before you react in a negative way
Hmm.
to your family. You're not going to be able to see that, okay, you are literally destroying relationships with family, friends,
Yourself.
you absolutely yourself. It's one of those things where uh, so many of us destroy. We've talked about it, marriages and relationships that we could have for the long haul.
Hmm.
You know, we don't adjust fire.
Yeah.
We don't see within the anger and the weight that we're carrying, and we cause damage to others. But yet we can see an ID 150 yards away.
Yeah.
We can see a deer camouflaged
On that tree line.
on the tree line 300, 400 yards away.
Yeah. Good at that.
And 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 we can adjust for windage,
Yeah.
shoulder the rifle, and take the shot and hit the kill shot like that. But we come out of the woods
I'm lost.
and we walk into the house, to the world, to the real
Yeah.
world, right? And we're walking around. It's like we're in the dark with no flashlight,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. And emotional intelligence is our flashlight.
Hmm.
It's our flashlight. That's what allows us to be able to see what's right in front of us.
That's right, man. Hell yeah. It's a good way to
You
put it.
know, man, this has been good.
Yeah, but this is one of those ones that we've talked about it a bit. We wanted to make sure that we at least got it somewhat right. Again, we're not professionals by any shape
No,
of the word, but we just felt like maybe if we talk about some of the stuff that we deal with, because everything that we've said here today is basically us pointing a finger at ourselves.
Yep.
I know it is for me, and it's one of the things where I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm trying to grow my emotional intelligence
Absolutely.
because my life is gonna change. Now yours is too.
Yep.
Within the next year,
Yeah.
a whole different side of
Yes.
the world.
Yeah. You're in it,
So
and I'm about to be.
might as well get right now, and it's never too early to start. I wish I had started earlier myself.
Yeah.
I can only imagine where I'd be if I had started a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And it's important, right, for
Absolutely.
everybody. So
I think one of the things that just popped in my mind before we close this out is being able to, we in the military we have what's called after action reports, AARs.
AARs,
Yep. And being able to do that in life
yeah,
and run that after action report through our heads, when we've dealt with the situation, when we see, sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes like, oh man, I handled that pretty good.
Yeah.
That was somewhat spot on. There's always things we can adjust and we can make better. Always, especially looking back. Or man, I screwed the pooch on this.
yeah,
I missed this. I didn't get the feel for the room. I didn't. I didn't see my blind spots.
mhm.
I didn't turn the flashlight on soon enough, so I couldn't see through the darkness.
It's important to take those experiences, right, and just learn from them,
Absolutely.
right. You don't need to get afraid of doing it in the future. Always be willing to take the shot,
I,
right? Always,
I like that. Yes.
because you can
Yes.
make those adjustments. You can learn
Yep.
from those mistakes, and you're not going to bat 1,000.
Nope.
You're not going to hit the bullseye every single time.
Nope.
You could be the
Absolutely.
best shooter in the world. Doesn't matter. You could be the best emotionally intelligent individual in the world. You're still going to botch some stuff.
Hmm.
I mess up boiling eggs all the time. And it's one of the simplest things to do. You know what I mean?
Boil eggs?
I
Okay.
can.
Well,
I just not every time.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I like that. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I forget that
Yeah.
they're on the boat. I forget they're on the burner, and I walk away.
He gets distracted.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez, shiny watch. Like I'm over here now.
Yeah.
I'm dicking with my guitar, or
Yeah.
oh, my rifle's got dust on it. I'll pull that out, dust it off.
20 minutes later.
Yeah.
Oh no! I've been
What's that
boiling.
smell?
The water's gone.
Oh,
Yep.
but sometimes like you're
that's a
gonna
great way to put it.
you're gonna mess stuff up,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Just
Don't dwell on it.
don't
Learn from it.
use it.
Yep.
That's what
You
this
know,
is.
Run that AAR in your head. Run that after action report.
Hmm.
What could you have done better? What were your blind spots? Where could you have called out for a wingman when you should when you
Mhm.
didn't? Where should you have adjusted?
Hmm.
Should you have noticed that windage? Should you have noticed the movement? Whatever it was, right? Um, should you have read the room? Taken a second to take a breath before you reacted in a negative way.
Yes.
All those things every day, every step we take, every day that we live on this earth, we should be running an after action report at the end of the day and learning from what we did so we can be 1% better every single day.
Hmm.
I have that right outside my door, my office, on a whiteboard.
Yeah.
And it just says 1% better every day.
What do you do after 100 days?
Okay. Okay. Well, so you can be 200% better.
Oh, okay, okay.
You just can't operate at 200%. Does that make
Oh,
sense?
yeah, I got
Yes.
you.
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
you.
yeah. So you can keep being better every single day and still not meet 100%.
I know.
And hit the target 100% of the time, right?
Close enough.
You're just being a smart ass.
I am.
I like it. I like it. So
I'm operating at 327%.
absolutely, absolutely. So
This wasn't tea. This was methamphetamine.
no, it wasn't.
I know. No, it's tea.
Yeah,
It's real good. I'm Uncle signing it up right now.
yeah. Uncle Si.
Hmm.
Yes, I love it. Such a great show.
I know, man. I'm gonna watch some of that tonight. I think now.
I am too now. I'm gonna watch some old
Got
school
to.
Duck Dynasty.
Hell
Man,
yeah.
man, I hate Phil Robertson's not with us anymore.
I know, man. He was a good dude.
Oh,
Had so many lessons.
yes. I actually got to see him a lot down Louisiana.
Yeah.
I went to his church a couple times, and I got to see him speak many a time.
I bet that must have been amazing.
Oh my gosh, man, awesome.
When he gets on stage and starts talking about God,
Oh, wow.
I've watched some of his stuff just on
Yes.
YouTube,
Yes.
and it's like I'm not necessarily the most religious individual. It's something that I'm actually working on in conjunction with this.
Yeah.
But man, he can get you fired up for some Jesus. I'll
Mhm.
tell you that.
I've actually got a duck call signed by him.
Really? That's
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
No, we
went.
We went.
The eggs are boiling, Matt.
All right, guys. I think we're gonna wrap this up. So we went a little deep today. We talked about some good whiskey. That was matured, went from one barrel to the other. We talked about,
Mm.
how important maturing ourselves.
Yes.
Smoothing out those rough edges. How important that emotional intelligence is, especially as men. And I really enjoyed this one, man.
Me too,
I
brother.
really have. But we're gonna wrap this thing up.
Hell yeah.
All right. So you guys have a great week. Keep pouring, fam.
Like, subscribe, share,
There you
comment,
go. Yes.
and yeah.
Yeah. Please subscribe, guys. We got a lot of folks that are watching us on YouTube and Spotify, but they're just not subscribing. I get it, but it would really help us out if you could subscribe, share, talk about us.
Mhm.
Even if you're not talking about us good, it's okay.
Yeah, those guys suck.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we'll get some more viewers. So, but we appreciate y'all.
Yep.
Have a good one.
Take care, y'all.